Hi, so today we're going to discuss a very basic idea about economics. What is economics? Why do we want to study this? Why it is important for every business student to understand the economics? So these are the questions I want to clarify in your minds before starting the real subject of microeconomics. So it's important that we understand why economics is so important in our daily life. Sometimes we are doing things and applying the economic models in our life, but unintentionally. We don't know that we are applying in the supply and demand law, or we are applying the elasticity of demand, or but that's important to understand. And whenever you use those trade-offs or opportunity costs, then you understand that yes, you are really applying economics in your daily life, and as well as when you do big decisions in your business. So you know that it's whatever that decision you are making is backed or based on some economic theories. So let's start, and I share with you the PowerPoint, which I created to discuss this issue. What is economics? So this is the part one of chapter first in microeconomics. Any textbook, if you study, the first question we answer in our economics courses is what is economics, and why do we need to study? We need to study economics because we are facing with two big challenges in our life, in every individual's life, in every society, in every economy, and in every country, or in every region. Those two challenges is that we have a limited or scarce resources, and on the other hand, we have unlimited wants. So how to manage these scarce resources in order to fulfill the maximum wants or desires or needs of the people. So as an individual, when we have to make decisions, we see our resources, and then we have to make choices in order to fulfill our needs or demands. And for that reason, we need to make a choice. Otherwise, if we have an unlimited resources and there is no limit on our resources, then there is no need to make a choice. Then, for example, if you want to buy a cell phone, and what you have to do, you have to look at different models with their different features, and then you have to pick one. Okay, that's going to fulfill my requirements or my needs. So in that case, you select one. Why you are selecting one? Because you have a limited resources, and you don't have unlimited resources that you can buy all the models, all the sets, because that's a wastage of resources. So every society, every economy, every country, every business, every individual is always making these decisions, what are resources and how we can utilize to maximize our satisfaction or needs and requirements. So that's so in economics, if we want to define what economics is, economics help us to make decisions which is optimal, which is beneficial, which is for the society, economy, and country, or as an individual, that whatever the resources we have, how do we utilize this to get the maximum benefit, or the benefit for the maximum people. So that's a economics is. So as economics is a study of the use of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants, human wants, right? Unlimited human wants. So these two words are important to remember for understanding the economics. Scarce resources, limited resources, and unlimited wants, human wants, desires, needs. Now, what are the resources? So if I ask you guys that what are the resources, so it is possible that you say money, wealth, and all these things. But in economics, we define the resources in four broader categories, and whatever you say that this is a resource, we can put that resource in any of these four categories. So what are those four categories? In economics, we call them as factors of production. Land is one of the factors of production, but land is not defined or specific only to the land, but it's a space. Any space which is required to do any activity. We need space for doing any business activity. Nowadays, there are some business models that are operating without offices, without any so much human requirement. But even then, they need some servers where they can operate their systems, right? Like an Uber or Eat or Airbnb or these type of things. So we see that land is a basic requirement for any type of business activity or any resource. But we also know that land is very limited. It's not possible to increase the land size unless you have a large resources like the people living in Dubai. So they created a Palm Jumeirah, or that's an area that they created by themselves or extended the land on the ocean or sea. But that's a very expensive thing. So land is a very limited, as we mentioned, scarce resources. So it is one of the resource that is very limited. The second is labor. And we all know that the population and the labor available to work in any economy, in any country, in any city, or in any region is very limited, is limited. We cannot increase the labor overnight. We cannot increase the labor. Over a period of time, it can increase or it can decrease. But for a very short period of time, it is very limited. And that's why many countries are adopting for immigration and all these things. What they want, they need labor, and labors are scarce. So that's again one of the resource which is limited. Whenever you have to do any activity, any business activity, you need human resource. You need a labor. Without that, it is very hard for the business to do any business model. There is at least some human brain there to work on it. Third is capital, and we define capital in the sense of plant, machinery, tools, equipment, all these things which we require to do a business. Like a bakery requires an oven or a dough maker. Amazon requires robots and all these things for in their warehouses. So we see that without machines, without tools, without capital, business is also not. And we know all that these are limited resources. We cannot use as much as they want, but there is a limited because every business has a limited capital through which they can run. The fourth one, which is not mentioned in this list, but I mentioned it later below, that is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means that the skill, and that's again within the humans, the skill set that you can utilize these three above mentioned resources, land, labor, capital, in such a way that you can produce something and make profit out of it. So that's an entrepreneurship skills, and it varies from person to person, organization to organization, but it is important, it is required that you have that skill, that you can use these resources to generate profit. So these are the factors of production or resources. In economics, we define it. Now, when we use these four resources, four factors of production, what we do, we produce either a good. When we are saying good, it means it's a tangible thing, like a car, computer, cell phone, or wheat, corn. These are the things that you can physically touch it, or these are tangible. We call them as a tangible because we can physically touch and we can physically feel that. So these are the goods. But there are some industries, those are producing services, like airline. They are producing a service to allow you to travel from one place to another, like a doctor or a dentist, or these are the people, they use these resources to produce services which are intangible. You cannot see it. So the objective is that by utilizing the four factors of production, there are two possibilities. Either you are producing goods or services in order to make profit. So production is an act of making them, and we all know that what is production and what is consumption. So in a society, again, why do we need to define here what is production, what is consumption? Because in a society we have to produce and we have to consume it, because there is if we are producing the things which are not consumable or which we are not able to consume, then it is useless, it is worthless. So it is important that there is a coordination, there is a harmonization between the production and consumption. It is possible that we are not producing the product within a country, within an economy, but we are consuming. But how we are consuming? Because someone else in the rest of the world is producing it. So that is possible. Consumption and production has a relationship, like, or another way you can say that if we want to divide the society, we can divide the society into two big categories. Either you are a producer or a consumer. Like we all, whenever we do some job, what we are selling our wages or labor to get wages, right? So labor, we are producing labor and we are selling it in the market. And what we are consuming, we are buying a lot of things like a grocery to appliances, electronics, all these things, what we are doing, we are consuming it. So this is what economics is. So economics, limited resources and unlimited human wants. The management, the organization, or the try to create a harmonization between these two things is called economics. And in economics, we use 4 factors of production to define that how the things are going to produce. Either we produce goods or services, and the production, and then we consume it as a consumer. So it's important because in economics, when we deal, go further in detail, so we have to study some chapters from the perspective of a consumer, and we study some concepts and ideas from the perspective of a producer. So it's important to understand either you are a consumer or you are a producer. So that's important. Now, the next point is that the scarce resources. The scarce resources created a issue in our life or in our business environment, that we have to make a choice. As I gave you an example before, that you have to make a choice because you have a limited resources. So we make choices because we have to decide of a limited resources. So relative to our desires, existing resources are scarce. So there are enough resources to produce only a fraction of goods and services that we want. Scarcity, therefore, implies the need to make choice. So choice is based on that we have to make choice. Opportunity cost, making choices implies the existence of cost. Now, what is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is that when we make a choice, so definitely when we are making a choice, so there are options that we have to make a choice out of that. So when we select a one option, so it means we have to forego all other options. So opportunity cost is the cost in terms of what we forego. So let's assume you have a choice to buy an iPhone or a Samsung. So if you select an iPhone, it means you forego the Samsung. So the opportunity cost of buying a iPhone is the Samsung, or vice versa, as you can say. So making choice implies the existence of a cost, and that cost is called as an opportunity cost. Or in a very textbook manner, if we want to define that, what is an opportunity cost? So the next best alternative, which is that we forego, that we sacrifice. If you watch this video, so it means you sacrifice the other activity that you can do during this time. For example, you can watch any other video or any other TV show or a movie, or you can read your book, or you can cook your food. So there are a lot of things, but there is only one opportunity cost, that what you can do, because you cannot do all these activities instead of watching this video. So the next best alternative, means the things that you forego for doing this activity. Now, here is an example to understand this whole idea of an opportunity cost is that if the government has a limited resources and they have a choice to make whether a cycle path or a bicycle path or to repair the existing roads for cars and vehicles. So, and now we see here that the government has a 12 million to spend on repairs or the new path for bicycles. So the repair for bicycle path for a $1 $1 million per kilometer, and for the new so repair for the road cost is $1 million per kilometer, and the cost for making a new bicycle path is 500,000, as a $500,000 or a 0.5 million. So 1 million for the construction of for the repairs of the road, and 0.5 million for the construction of a bicycle path. Now they have to make a choice because they have a 12 million. So either they can repair a 12 kilometer of roads, that's a one choice, or they can make a 24 kilometers of a bicycle path, which we are showing here. If you look at it, so 12 and for 24, but it is not necessary that we spend all the money on one activity or the other activity. We can do a combination of these two as well. Like this line, this dark green line reflects all the combinations which are possible. For example, like 9 kilometers of road repair and 3 kilometers of 6 kilometers of bicycle path, or similarly 6 kilometers of road repair and 12 kilometers of bicycle path. So there are different combinations. So this line, we also call them as a budget line. Why we are saying budget line? Because 12 million is a budget available or resources available, and we can spend in combinations of this. Now, the point what we want to learn here is the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost here, we can see that, like, if we forego 1 kilometer of road repair, how many kilometers of bicycle path we can construct? 2 kilometers. So we see that the opportunity cost of 1 kilometer of road repair is 2 kilometers of bicycle path, and vice versa. Like the opportunity cost of 1 kilometer of new path is 0.5 kilometers of road repair. So its opportunity cost is reciprocal or inverse of the other. So it's a 1 kilometer against 2, and then it's 1 kilometer of new path against 0.5. So that's the way that we calculate opportunity cost. So another idea that what we can explain is that there is some point like A, B, and C. So B and C is possible points because we can do it either this combination of 6 kilometers and 12 kilometers, or 9 kilometers and 6 kilometers. But point A is unattainable combination. Why? Because it is out of budget. We cannot afford it, because the point A is saying that, okay, 9 kilometers of road repairs and 15 or 14 kilometers of bicycle path, which is not possible within that path. So that's what we call it as a out of bound or unattainable combinations of the things. So this is what important things I want to share with you is what is economics, scarce resources, unlimited wants. Then we need to make choices based on this. And when we make choices, so there is an opportunity cost of it. So these are the ideas important to remember from this part. So we continue in the second part and third part. I hope you will get the idea more effectively through this video. Thank you.